Hi everybody, this is Miss Karen here at the Montgomery County Norristown Library, and we are back with another painting activity. And this week we're going to paint this really pretty fall portrait of two birds sitting in a tree. So we're going to use a different technique this time. We're going to be doing some very short brush strokes all the way around this canvas to make those pretty fall colors and those leaves. But to start out with, we're going to start out first with our tree branch. So you're going to want to start out with one of your slightly bigger brushes for the thicker part of our branch here. We're going to start on the bottom left in this side here, and we're going to come up towards the center and start with just those thicker parts. So I'm going to use one of my slightly bigger circular brushes, and you're going to want to mix some colors in this activity, and as always, you can mix them directly into your paint pots as I like to do, or if you'd like to keep those colors separate, you can go ahead and use something like a paper plate. And as always, make sure that you have something underneath you on whatever surface you're working on, like newspaper or old magazines, so that you don't get paint on your table or wherever you're working. So to start out with that branch, we're going to go ahead and make sure we get two different colors onto our brush. So we're going to want to get some brown and some black. So we don't want to mix these colors together if you're using a paper plate or something like that. You don't want to mix them together. We're just going to get them on the brush together. So you can kind of see in the video here, I have the brown and the black, not mixed together, but both on the brush. And we're going to start on the bottom left side of our canvas, and we're just going to make a big curved line coming up straight like that. And then we'll do another one underneath, and then you want to go ahead and fill that in. So I am going to go a little bit quickly with this video here, just because this project did take me a long time to paint, and I don't want the video to be too long. So if at any point, if I'm going too fast, please feel free to pause the video, do the step that you need to complete, and then come back and we'll move on to the next one. So again, because I'm going quickly, you'll probably see a lot of spots on my canvas where white is still showing, like in the middle here, or there may be times where my paint isn't dry, so you'll see some of my colors mixing. So if you want to avoid colors mixing, you just want to give your canvas about 5 minutes or so to dry in between each layer of paint. All right, so once we have that thick part of the trunk of our branch here, you're going to bring one side of that thicker part going up and another side going out and over, just like this. And this part will use decent amount of paint here, but you want to keep getting that brown and that black, and you can see it's kind of mixing together as we go along. All right, so we have one part going up, one part going to the side, and we're actually going to stop there with our bigger brush, and we're going to move on to a smaller brush because we see all those smaller trees that are coming off of the thicker parts. So you're going to take a slightly smaller brush, do the same thing, get some brown and some black. And then you're just going to draw some kind of squiggly lines coming off of your thicker part of your branch, going in whatever direction you'd like. We do lines coming off of lines. It's almost going to look like lightning. And that's going to make all the smaller parts of our branches there. And you can always have it split, or you can just do one by itself. So you don't have to do this exactly as I'm doing it. I encourage you to use your creativity and make your tree look however you would like. So like I said, just anywhere across the canvas where you want those smaller branches to come out, we're just going to keep going with those little straight lines or squiggly lines. The only spot that you don't want to have those lines is going to be right here above our curved part of our thicker branch, because that's where we're going to paint our birds. But I'll do a couple more here, so I'll have the thicker ones split out into two as well. And you want to bring these to the edge of the canvas in some places just to make it look like it's a little bit bigger. I'll get some smaller ones here. And you can do as many or as few as you'd like. And I'll do one more here coming up across the center. All right, so I'm going to just leave it there. And again, I am doing this a little bit quickly, so if you'd like, you can pause the video and take your time. So the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and paint our two little lovebirds here sitting on the middle branch. And as you can see in my example, I had the branch thin out and then end in some thinner twigs on the end there, whereas in my example here, I'm doing the thick branch all the way across. So that is totally up to you. Just makes it look a little bit more kind of zoomed out if you have the thinner branches on the end here. But you'll go ahead and take one of your medium brushes. I'm going to use this one here. And like we did with the brown paint, we're going to go ahead and mix two colors together onto the brush. So you're going to take some blue and some black. Here we go. So I've got the blue and the black kind of side by side, and if there's a little bit of brown in there, that's okay too. And we're going to start just by doing two circles side by side. You can see we get that nice dark blue color, and it gives it a little bit of depth with that shadow-like appearance if those two colors are mixed together. Okay, so we'll get a little bit more, and then you're gonna do two ovals coming off of those two circles, just like that. And then we're gonna end those in a point on each for the bird's tail. So at the edge of those ovals, we're just gonna come down in a V, in a point, just like that. And I'm gonna go ahead and kind of smooth those lines a little bit. There we go. So we have our two birds on our perch. So now the last thing that we have to do, but the main point of this exercise, is going to be all of these fun single brush stroke colors in the back. So we're going to go ahead and start with a brown color. We're not going to mix the brown with the black like we did for the tree trunk. I'm going to use one of my flat brushes here. We'll go ahead and wash these off. We're going to use these flat brushes for all of these different colors, so make sure you wash these in between your colors. So start with the brown, not dipping it in the black, just the brown. And mostly around the edge of the canvas, you're going to want to do a bunch of these single brush strokes in that brown. So there is no rhyme or reason to this. You can do as many or as few of these colors as you would like. And we'll probably end up going back and doing some more of the brown again, but we're just going to start with that darker color. And then we're going to go on and dip into the orange. Now, like I said, you probably want to mix off your brushes in between so we can use the same size. Or if you would like, you can dip directly into your next color so that when you do the brush strokes, you can see those colors kind of mix together a little bit. And that can be nice to kind of give the tree a little bit more of a lifelike, realistic looking color, because as we know, when we see the leaves on the tree, they're not all perfectly one color. You'll see some that are a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of brown. So it's up to you. If you want, you can wash the brush off completely, or you can just kind of keep going with that until we only see that new color. So now you can see I'm just seeing that orange, but I kind of have some mixed ones on there too. All right, so we have our orange and our brown. Next, I'm going to go directly into my yellow. And you can see I have that kind of mixed yellow-orange color. And the goal with this painting is to not leave any white space in the background. So for right now, you just see I have a bunch of these little individual marks, but eventually we're going to keep going over and over with these colors until we have no white space left. And you can see I'm leaving the space around the birds a little bit blank because, as you see on my example here, we are going to go in with some blue and some white. I'm just giving that a little bit of time to dry because those birds are going to be nice and wet. And when I painted my example, this did take me quite a bit of time to finish. I am going very quickly now for this video. So like I said, don't be afraid to pause, take your time. All right, and I'm going to switch brushes here. I happen to have a second one, and I'm going to go into the red now. And we'll do those big splashes of red. And don't be afraid to kind of go over your branches a little bit with your leaves. You can still see that dark brown coming through, so you don't have to worry about covering that up. And we'll do some more red up here, and then I think we can probably go in and do our blue and our white next. All right, so I'm going to stop there for now with the red, and now what we're going to do is we're going to mix our blue and our white together to get that nice varying shades of blue, light blue, and white. So like I said, you can mix it right in the pot, or you can go ahead and mix it on a paper plate. So I'm going to take some of that dark blue, and I'm going to kind of mix it into, I'm going to use the top. You can see I'm mixing it with the lid here so that it doesn't mix all the way in with my white paint, and I get that nice light blue color. So we're going to do the light blue all the way around the birds. And you can kind of mix it up into the leaves a little bit. Gives it that nice abstract-y feel. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some more of the dark. Mix it in with that white, and now we've got some darker blue. So we want to have different shades of blue mixed in here. So we've got light blue, a lot of dark blue. And now you can either rinse your brush off, or if you have another brush free, we're going to use just the pure white. And I'm going to go over all of the spots where you still see white, and you can see it's mixing all of those colors together, which is what we want to see. So you still have those individual brush strokes, but we're getting a nice variety of different shades of blue as I'm going over them here. And you might see a little bit of brown mixing in with mine. That's because I did not wait for my tree to dry. So if you don't want that to happen, like I said, just give it about 5 minutes or so. All right, so we have that blue done. We're gonna go back to our other colors. I'm gonna go ahead and use green. We're gonna do most of the green right around our birds. So we'll do a couple in where we had the blue kind of on the sides here to make those green leaves that haven't quite changed colors yet. We'll do maybe one on the side here. And then I'm gonna scatter a couple of those throughout. So I'm gonna concentrate that mostly around the birds, but you can also add a couple extra green splotches around the canvas. And remember, this is your tree. You can make it look like whatever you'd like, so you can put as many or as few of these green splotches. All right, so we're just gonna keep going with that until all of the white space on our canvas is gone. So you can use as much of one color as you'd like. You can try to even it out. I'm going to use a lot of yellow here as I'm going through, because the yellow is very good at mixing it with different colors. So you can see as I'm putting it on, it's mixing with whatever color is next to it. So it's making a lot of really pretty different shades. I have some orange in there. I have some dark brown, light brown, yellow, red. I'm kind of getting a whole bunch of different colors there. So I like to use the yellow a lot because it will look really pretty when it mixes with whatever color is next to it. So again, I'm going very quickly here just because I want you guys to see what it'll look like as we go through, as it's all done. But if you don't want those colors to mix, you're gonna wanna definitely take your time and wait for those layers of paint to dry. And you're just gonna keep going all the way around the canvas with all of your colors until you don't have any white spots left. So I might have some white spots left on mine just because, like I said, I don't want to take too long here. But I just wanted you guys to get the idea. So we're just doing the short single brush strokes all the way around. And you can see I'm definitely getting a lot of mixed colors up in here, but I happen to like the way that looks. If you don't like the way that looks, that is perfectly okay. You're gonna develop your own technique, your own style here. And remember, don't have to worry about covering up your branches. Almost there. Now I'm definitely using more yellow than any other color, so remember, you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. You can pick your favorite color. You could do the whole thing in one color if you wanted to. I'll just do a couple more down here and we'll be all set. Alrighty. So again, I went very, very quickly through that there, but you can kind of see what it looks like once all those colors kind of mix together. And if you'd like, you can also take some white and go through and dab some extra white ones in there. I did that here in the example. You can see all these lighter spots to make it look like there's sunlight filtering through. But that is it. We are all done with our autumn bird tutorial. So I hope you guys had fun with this one. It's a little bit different, but we're learning some new techniques, which is awesome. So if you guys want to show off some pictures of your masterpieces, please feel free to share those pictures to our Facebook page. We would love to see. And I hope I'll see you next week for another fun craft or activity. See you guys then. Bye-bye.